This is a lesson on linear combinations, and this is in the guided practice of that lesson that I'm having students work. It's problem number 4. A chemist mixes X ounces of 20% salt solution with Y ounces of a 30% salt solution. The final solution contains 9 ounces of salt. Write an equation that relates X and Y to the total number of ounces of salt. So I first have students define the variables. So X equals number of ounces of 20% solution, and Y equals the number of ounces of the 30% salt solution. So I'm going to go ahead and bring A down here and write the equation. So you would have 0.20 times X to represent the 20% salt solution, and plus 0.30Y, and that should equal a total of 9 ounces of the salt solution. And then on part B, it tells you how many ounces of the 30% salt solution, so we're solving for Y, must be added to 2.7 ounces of the 20% salt solution, so they gave us X, to get 9 ounces of salt in the final mixture. So we're basically substituting for X in part B, and so 0.20 times the 2.7 plus 0.30 times Y equals 9. And this is a good place to review decimals with your students, or teach them how to take the decimals out of the equation. I'm going to go ahead and review decimals. So 0.20 times 2.7, that's going to be 27 times 2 is 54, and you add the 0, but you have 3 decimal places, so it's 0.540 plus 0.30y equals 9. If they're going to subtract 0.540 thousandths, we're going to line up the decimals if we're going to do this by hand. And if we're subtracting that, we're going to have 0 minus 0 is 0. 10 take away 4 is 6. From that, so that's going to be 4. So it's 8.46 hundredths. And then we're going to have 0.30y equals 8.46. And if you take 8.46 and you divide by 0.30, you need to move the decimal out of the divisor 2 places, so it moves here. And 30 goes into 84 2 times, and you're left with 24, and bring down the 6. 8 times 30 is 240. 6, and you bring down a 0, and that goes in 2 times. So you actually get that Y is equal to 28.2 ounces. And remind students not to forget their units when they're answering the question.